What's up, everybody? Welcome to We Are Best Friends. My name's Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, and if you didn't know, I'm Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. But more importantly, I do a bunch of different podcasts and shows over there, and we've been lucky enough to build quite the community of best friends over the years. And it was last year, 2018, at some point, where I maybe finally started to realize that even though we're an incredibly small YouTube channel, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, come subscribe, that we actually have quite the platform for it in the industry, and that we should use that and pay it forward and do good things with it. So what we did in 2018 was had a concerted effort to bring on smaller streamers, smaller writers, people from, well, not literally smaller, but it's people without the reach that Kind of Funny has, to come over and be part of our shows and co-host with us. And I started it not really knowing where it would go or how many people we would have, or more importantly, I guess, the impact it would have on people's life. So when John hit me up and said they were going to do a podcast, 9 of them, people who had sat next to me on Kind of Funny Games Daily or are part of the Kind of Funny Up-and-Comers program, something we did in 2019 that I'm sure you're about to hear about on this show. I was really touched by it. Like, that's really awesome and impressive. Like, I've been in the industry, 13 years now, and I think of myself as somebody who still doesn't matter and nobody cares about, and is still every day trying to just make good stuff and put it out there for good people to find. So the idea that there's this generation of people who have either come up listening to me or come up in the wake of me, I guess, and what I've done at IGN and what I've done at Kind of Funny is, first off, something I never think of, let alone the fact that these people would look to me and say that I'm an inspiration or that they've learned something from me. And so when they came up with this idea, We Are Best Friends, like they're going to do this show where they talk about their experiences of coming on Kind of Funny and what their careers are and where they want to take them, like, that's like kind of the coolest thing that could possibly happen. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. We are best friends.
Good evening, everybody. And right off the bat, you're probably wondering what the fuck this clusterfuck is. Okay? But here's the deal.
We certainly are.
We certainly are. We certainly are. So, quick backstory to what we're doing here. We were supposed to start recording at around 8, but Chloe got stuck on a train, and so here we are, like an hour later. We're kicking this thing off. We're kicking this thing off. Half of us are drunk already, and we're just gonna get drunker as the night goes on.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. And so other than being drunk, one thing all of us have in common is that we are all former
nerds.
I'm a current nerd. I'm not a former nerd.
We're all fans of the Studio Rare.
No, we're definitely not fans of the Studio Rare. Not all of us.
I feel like I just got called out by Erica all of a sudden. Like, oh my god.
It goes Rare, Nintendo, then Rockstar in that order.
You can't push your agenda on us.
That's okay.
That's fucking propaganda. That's fucking propaganda, Blessing.
But all right, okay.
To be an elitist for something, but to be a rare elitist is rare.
It is, especially since rare is rarely have I seen a studio so overrated.
Hey!
Yeah!
Those are fighting words.
I'm sorry, Blessing, dude.
Donkey Kong Country 2, the third one, Donkey Kong Country.
Blessing, if you want to, dude, Blessing, my man.
Whatever that third one was.
Dude, if you want to,
was it called Donkey Kong Country 3? I don't know.
If you want to throw down to this over, I mean, I'll be at PAX West, baby. Like, you know this.
Dude,
we'll
listen. I
we'll
have
throw
a
some
panel.
hands.
We can
Shut
do it.
up. Oh my god. Okay, don't flex on us.
In case y'all didn't know, OKVS has a panel. Come through PAX West on Sunday, 6:30 at the Canteen.
It's my birthday.
Yeah, please check it out.
It's also Belinda's birthday, but
It's my birthday.
more importantly, it's the day of the panel, and so come through in the panel.
Can we just all
But it's my
really,
birthday.
like, seriously give
Bring me a
Blessing?
cake if you go to the.
We just want to point out that we're really appreciative of Blessing being here with a group of disgusting peasants like us. Like, now that you've ascended to the realm of having a PAX panel, like, we all know you're really important now, and it's just, we're so lucky to have you here, man. Like,
listen, none of us here have as many Twitter followers as Chloe, and so I
have more Twitter followers than Chloe.
Wait, do you really? How many Twitter followers do you have?
I got like 5,500.
Oh,
so
you
you
go.
have like
when you insult Robert.
So look at that. So technically, like, if we're going by social media,
Dang.
Blessing,
Dude,
I
where's-
am the most important person here.
Wow.
If we're going strictly by
damn, so
social media.
I mean, I got 3,400, but I mean that's only because Jimmy Fallon follows, so that's why.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm on the lower end over here is what I'm hearing.
Chloe has a
So,
much
if
better
anything,
fucking pin
I'm the
tweet than
peasant.
any of us, though. Like, I
That's
will say
true.
that. Like, Chloe,
That's on TikTok.
Yeah, that's a pretty dope tweet. Yeah.
that's some good shit. This shit is already off the fucking rails. Okay, look.
I don't know. what I'm here.
John, there were never
I worshipped
rails.
that video.
Kind of look.
If I could get
Other-
a video tattooed, it'd be Chloe's video.
Other than being fucking ridiculous, the other thing we have in common is that we're all former Kind of Funny co-hosts, which makes us all best friends. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a bunch of us together and talk about our experiences with Kind of Funny. Talk about how we started watching, them, how long we'd been watching them, and what kind of led us to Kind of Funny, and just kind of talk about our experiences there. And then we thought it might be fun, since Blessing and Chloe have not been there yet, to kind of, I don't know, prep you to kind of give you a boost, kind of build you up, let you know what to expect, and maybe impart some, I don't know, I don't want to use the word wisdom, because there's absolutely fucking none of that here. But
we all failed our wisdom checks, okay? So,
we
yeah,
really
we'll tell
did.
you
But
what we did wrong, so
exactly.
you don't do that.
Here's
And
the thing.
if you
I
want
try
to
to
know,
say-
if you want to know what to do wrong, just look up the episode I was on with Greg. Like that's
I-
and
so,
do
I mean-
exactly what I did.
Or just show up on time. I didn't even do that.
I think what it is was like
I show up mad early every time, and I'm sitting there like,
same.
Yeah, I'm about to be there at 8 a.m. Nobody's about to be there for 2 hours.
Yeah, see, I was in a fucking taxi after it started. So I was at a
Oh,
preview
damn.
event, and
no.
they flew me out to San Francisco. So I was like, oh, I gotta be here. And Greg's like, yo, when are you gonna be there? Jared's waiting for you. I was like, I'm in a cab and I'm stuck.
Can
I
I
was like
just
about ready to kick the door out and just run down the road.
You know
I have
the
to be on an internet show.
you know the really
I'm very important.
you know what the beautiful thing about all this is that Greg made this great. Like I was just expecting Greg like in front of a webcam, like, "Hi, this is We Are Best Friends," but he did this great intro that you'll see. You know, if you're watching this right now, you just saw it. And he like sat down in front of this. He was in the studio. It was great, and just like it immediately launches into us like, "What's up, motherfuckers? Yeah, we're all fucking wasted." Like,
he's like,
gonna regret
"You're
that.
so respectable."
Oh, no.
I'm so
I love
sorry,
that.
Greg.
So, I want to complete the thought that John was giving earlier about like about me and Chloe as far as like what this is as far as preparation wise, right? Because like I played there's a game called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Nobody's ever heard of it. Fall indie. Like, people play
The
it.
game is fucking awesome. Do
Small
not
indie,
denigrate
right?
Sekiro in my presence.
You denigrated Banjo-Kazooie. Sekiro is a trash game. But anyway, that's not what
Fight,
that's
fight,
what
Easy
fight,
mode
fight,
is
fight,
not a
fight,
participation
fight,
trophy.
that's not what I'm here to say. What I'm here to say is that like before I got into Sekiro, right? I did a thing. I went online and I looked up some tips and some tricks because I was like, I don't play these games. I'm not a Dark Souls person. I'm not a Bloodborne person, right? This is like this is like the IGN wiki page, you know, for going on Kind of Funny, I imagine.
Hmm.
Would you say
That's
so?
Oh,
yeah, that's
a
a
game guide.
really actually
Dude,
odd
Roundabout
but
way to
yet
get to
apropos comparison. I really fucking like
You're
that,
much
dude.
more eloquent than
dude,
me.
when I'm 4 drinks in, that's when the good things come out.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
boy.
magical, dude. All right. So if you're listening to this or if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably wondering, if you're not familiar with Kind of Funny anyway, who the fuck we are, right? So let's clear the air on that right now. And so what we'll do is we'll start with Steve Saylor. Steve, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody what your channel is?
Hi, I'm Steve Saylor. I'm commonly known as the Blind Gamer. YouTube.com/snowball. There's a whole story on that one. Trust me. And I started actually doing. Doing Blind Gamer as sort of a show because my entire life I suck at video games. So yes, I am legally blind. I have a condition called nystagmus, and basically means my eyes move back and forth involuntarily, and it makes everything really blurry. So I do have some vision, but not enough to be able to kind of be able to do basic things like drive. So my vision essentially is 20/200 with glasses on. And that means that something looking at it's 20 feet away, to me looks like it's 200 feet away. So video games are a big issue for me, and I had that issue growing up, and I was basically telling my friends for years that I suck at video games. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start this channel just to be able to kind of show my friends, like, okay, I've been telling you for years I suck. Here's proof. And I literally started up, and it was literally just kind of me laughing at myself, just how bad I was, because it's more funny to watch me fail than it is for me to actually do well. So that's how I started. And then eventually it kind of led into more accessibility advocacy. And I started to kind of talk to a lot of the consultants and advocates within the industry. And that has led to me being a consultant for AAA developers. And one in particular that I just got to do So I got to help and work out with Ubisoft, and
That's fucking outstanding.
Ooh.
yeah.
it
So
really
there are
is,
some
man.
games I know
Yeah.
about that I wish I can spoil on here, but maybe
Oh
3 more
shit, dude!
beers
You got those
in, and I should
scoops?
be
Drop
okay.
the scoops, Steve. What the fuck
Oh
are you
man,
doing?
what is the next Assassin's Creed?
Come on, feudal Japan or get the fuck out.
Blessing, give me 2 more beers and I can tell you.
Get this man a fucking beer.
Yo,
Get this man a fucking beer.
Do NDAs
makes
not
you
mean
some beer.
anything to you?
No, but I can say actually one of the games I can say is that I did do a little bit of work on is Watch Dogs Legion.
Ooh.
That is a game that I get to do a
Nice.
little bit of
Nice.
extensive consulting on, and so that has kind of led into this really kind of awesome online career that I never thought would be possible, and I've been able to go to amazing places. Like just this year alone, got to be at GDC, got to be at PAX East for What's Good Games with Andrew Renee. And then I also got to go to E3 where I got this dope Cyberpunk 2077 jacket.
You
with
got to
this
meet
little
me,
stamp.
man. You got to meet
Dude,
me.
I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, I know, right? Like that's like the highlight of my
Holy
year.
fucking shit.
Right.
Dude,
So yeah,
I
that's what I do.
I was wondering why Snowball looked like a snack, and it's because of that jacket. I just realized.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, boy. Yeah, you betcha.
All right,
It's
fucking.
reversible.
What was that, Belinda?
It's reversible. The jacket.
It is.
It is.
I only know
I
that
have
because
one.
the last 5 times I saw Tim, he's wearing it.
Tim,
I know.
I hope Tim wears deodorant because when I was there in San Francisco, it was like blazing hot, and he was wearing a fucking jacket. And I'm like, dude.
I don't understand how the hell he was wearing it at E3. It was
Dude,
stupid hot.
Fashion over function.
Yep.
So I get my whole fashion sense from Tim Geddes. I've done the thing where
sorry.
I go on Amazon, I type
Sorry.
I type in cool bomber
I love you,
jacket and I buy
Tim.
whatever comes up. Yeah, dude. It's fashion over function. It's what you got to do, man.
It was just hilarious because I was at I think it was Saturday night was the birthday roast, and then he wore the bomber jacket and then the
Dude.
shirt, and then on Monday he wore the bomber jacket and the shirt, and I was like, "Did you?"
You're like, what?
I was like, there was like a whole day in between, so I was like, "Did you not change? Did you do laundry? Did you like?" I was just, oh my god.
Are you
This is
still
like-
dealing with the hangover from the
Yeah,
birthday roast?
Because he had,
Right, yeah.
he had the sunglasses, so I was like, you might be struggling. And
Well, since Belinda was the last one to speak, let's do Belinda. Belinda, why don't you
Speak.
introduce yourself to everybody and tell everybody who you are and what you do?
I'm Belinda. Right now I do PR and communications coordinating with Pop Agenda, which is Jen, Greg's wife. Greg, kind of funny, married to Jen Pop Agenda. So that's like family.
I don't get it.
They're my parents.
I
Don't
think
understand.
I don't
the
understand.
love of his life.
I don't understand the
know,
connection.
Maybe.
I don't
They
understand the
split
connection.
custody over me, and sometimes I go on Kind of Funny, and then sometimes I work with Jen. Well,
Oh,
all the
so it's
time I
like
work with
so
Jen.
it's like so it's like visiting two parents then.
Basically.
Okay, cool.
Two
Yeah, I
Christmases.
totally
Yeah.
understand that. Okay.
Except one of them is French.
Exactly.
French
she's-
Canadian. French Canadian.
French.
Yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
specific.
Get a
It's
represent.
not French Canadian.
Bonjour.
But
Or is it-
I used to work with, well, I kind of still kind of work with, hang out with Geeks of Color, which is like this awesome website where they promote diversity and inclusion. It was founded by Dorian Parks, who also works at Collider, Josh McCouga. It's all this big circle, who's really awesome. And so we did a gaming podcast that's called Game Boys of Color.
Oh, that's a
And
great fucking name. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's why she got a job in PR.
It's like I love the name. I'm so attached to the name. I want to keep doing it. A couple of the co-hosts dropped out, so that's kind of like where me and Jordan, who produced the podcast, are kind of like struggling. Like, we want to do it again, so we're like, why don't we just do it us two? So I think we'll start doing that again.
I'm available as a
Yeah.
guest. Just all you gotta
Yeah,
do is ask.
come on.
Same,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Do
all you
it.
gotta do is ask. You know.
You can
I mean, I don't know if I would work because I have
listen to
no color, but
Yeah, I
totally
mean,
fine. It's inclusion. We include everybody. Yay. But there are old episodes if you want to listen to them. The one that's really funny to me is the Revenge of the GameCube Elitist, because I am a GameCube elitist.
fuck yeah, I did not know
yeah.
that, but now my respect for you just went like to there.
That's good.
GameCube was my
GameCube's
first.
aight.
We'll get into.
God damn, you got everything next to you, man. Even a pinata and now a wave bird. Like
You'll have to remind me, Belinda, to show
Oh,
you
shit.
my custom made GameCube themed Joy-Cons.
Please,
They're fucking outstanding.
please.
They're
Wait,
fucking
are they
outstanding.
like shaped like GameCube controllers?
No, but they got they got the full color scheme. Like it's dude, it's
okay.
legit. They're fucking
Dude, that's
legit.
what I want. 2 Joy-Cons that are just straight up just like shaped like there's something wrong with them. Like they're just like, like just ergonomically, like they just look like GameCube controllers that were just like cut in half, just attached to the side of the
Also,
screen.
you're like playing it like this.
Yeah, so you're playing it like you're like haunting a house or something. Yeah.
Just
So
like them.
like you should do that for a year, and then you can call yourself the carpal tunnel gamer.
Yeah,
that would be.
Ah, there you go.
Wow.
Look at this.
I don't know about
that.
that. Wow.
You could totally fucking pull that off. Blessing, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and tell everybody who you are and where you're from?
Hello, my name is Blessing.
Hi, Blessing.
Hi, Blessing.
Hi,
I'm 4 drinks
blessing.
in.
Blessing.
This podcast has been blessed.
Yes.
Hey.
So I'm the executive editor and founder of a website called okbeast.com, which I guess is like 3 years old at this point. And we started, or
Baby.
I started it just as an idea to like actually like it started off as an idea to put together a portfolio for myself for whenever I decided to apply to IGN. And then kind of from there evolved and like more people joined and it grew into a thing and kind of grew into a community. And it all started from like, you know, being a fan of IGN and Kind of Funny and Giant Bomb and all these different sites, right? And currently like kind of where we're at right now is we do videos, podcasts, and articles all focused on video games and nerd culture. And we're just a group of people that enjoy hanging out. We're 4 people now. We had 5 people, but our friend Moises had to step away to focus on school, and so it's me, my friends Brandon, Ian, and Alex Van Aken. And yeah, we just make videos, make podcasts, do articles, go to different events, hang out, build a community, and just like talk about video games and their culture and have fun and all that stuff.
Dude, I know we were giving you a hard time, but I'm fucking proud of you about the PAX panel, man. Like you deserve it.
Thank you, man.
That's
Dude,
fucking
I-
outstanding.
Yeah.
I did not think that was gonna happen. So like we submitted the PAX panel, and the whole time we were like putting it together and contacting people. I was like, hey, just FYI, we are just like submitting the panel. The panel will probably not happen, but just as an idea, we're gonna put it out there and see what happens. Because we've submitted PAX panels before and they've gotten rejected. And like OKBeast is very small, right? Like we're not Giant Bomb by any means. We're not Spot On Me, right? We're not like any sort of like bigger or like moderately sized outlet. We're very small. And so like when I got back the email, I was like, hey, your panel has been approved. I read that and I was like, no way. Like I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like
Googled us.
I've got so much pull in the industry. Like I called up Gabe on the down low and I was like, look, Gabe,
Oh,
check it
thanks,
out.
man.
It's John. Like,
Gabe
I
Newell?
need you to approve this panel as a personal favor to me. So,
Yeah,
so
he
just want you to know,
called
man.
Gabe
Like
Newell,
I'll
and he's like,
I'll
"Who the
pull
fuck are
strings
you?"
for anybody.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, dude, that's fucking outstanding, man. And
dude.
you know what, Chloe? What's your story?
Yes. Oh my god. Hi, I'm Chloe.
Okay, you've only got 5 minutes, by the way, Chloe. So
Oh god, okay. I'm
It's
still
longer than you think.
I guess. I'm still breaking into all this and I'm just currently naming my career by being horny for robots on
yeah, you've got to explain this to me, Chloe.
I've
Like,
just got like a brand going now where I just tweet anything and people love it.
She's like, it's gotten really out of control.
I wish I had that problem. Most people hate what I
Yeah.
tweet. So
I say General Grievous and 10 people applaud. I'm like, okay, all right. That's how it's gonna be.
and when are you actually going to San Francisco to be on Kind of Funny?
I fly out in less than a month. I'll be there the first week of August.
Oh shit, that's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Damn.
I know,
That's
it's super
exciting.
close.
Are you excited? Like that's
Oh, super excited.
you're
Also
gonna
very
fucking
nervous.
love it.
That's
Oh, I
You're
can't
gonna
wait.
you're gonna fucking
And
love
Blessing,
it.
when is yours?
End of September.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I'm sad about because so when Tim Geddes talked to me about it, he was like, oh dude, come out like after a game that you're really looking forward to, right? So you can talk about that game. And at the when he asked me, it was like early, like I think it was like February or March. And so like the only game that was really announced was like I think Borderlands 3 was like freshly announced. And so I was like, I guess I'll like go down during Borderlands 3 because I'm looking forward to Borderlands 3. That's a game I like, right? And then like Death Stranding comes out and they're like, oh yeah, we're coming out in November. And I was like, damn it, Death Stranding is literally like the game I've been waiting my whole life for.
Yeah, but September is like the apocalypse for fucking games.
That's
Like
It
you got
is.
Link's Awakening,
Yeah.
Astral
September is
Chain
still
will
a
be
great-
out
It's the
by
best
then.
month.
Astral Chain,
Yeah.
Astral Chain was like another one that I was like, okay, but Borderlands and Astral Chain, I can talk about both of those because I'm looking forward to both of those.
This year's so
Um,
fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
It's so
This year's
fucking
crazy,
good, dude.
Dude, freaking The
Yeah.
Outer Worlds. it's
Mhm.
over.
No,
Yeah.
dude, I'm fucking
This year's
so
great, and
I
the
think I've
the
bought
I got
like
chills.
a bunch of games this year, like more than I have in like any year, like in the
Yeah,
Yeah.
past 5 years.
Whoa,
And, like,
2017 was a really fucking good year.
Yeah, it really
2017
was,
was like
dude.
so.
2018 was a great year.
2018
So
is
this is what I'm
actually
saying
my
is that like 2017 was like one of the greatest years for video games, right? Between like the Switch launch, Zelda, Horizon, Hellblade, Cuphead, Nier Automata,
Hellblade.
Persona 5, like
Mario Odyssey.
Mario,
Yeah.
Mario fucking Odyssey,
Yeah,
dude.
I like
Oh,
2017
Origins,
was so
Assassin's
good.
Creed Origins, dude.
2017 was so good that I almost forgot Mario Odyssey. Like that's how good
Yeah,
2017 was.
I 100%ed 3 games in 2017. I can't
2017
think of
was
any other
ridiculous.
year where I did that shit.
All I know is
And,
I'm
like-
playing a new Fire Emblem in like 2 weeks, so I'm fucking good.
Dude,
Fuck
and
you!
here-
I gotta
and
wait
here's
till
the
my
thing.
birthday.
Here's the thing: I've been pipping up 2020 to maybe be like as good, if not better, than 2017, because like 2020 is starting off with 3 bangers between, or I guess 2 bangers between Final Fantasy VII remake.
You're
and Cyberpunk-
goddamn fucking right.
Cyberpunk.
Animal
Cyberpunk
Crossing.
2077 and Animal Crossing. Yeah, so 3 bangers, and then Last of Us 2 is rumored to be coming out by the beginning of 2020, right? Like 2020 is about to be off the chain, and I don't even think anybody realizes it. Like,
Dude, I'm fucking well
I'm
aware.
waiting.
What are you talking about? Nobody
yeah.
realizes it. Like, what the hell?
I think we know.
I'm
March of
aware. I'm
2020
fully
is
aware,
gonna be off the
Blessing.
fucking chain.
Yeah.
And
I'm
speaking
just making it known.
speaking of off the chain, y'all fucking love that segue. I know. Speaking of off the chain, let's fucking go over. Who's off the chain here?
All of us.
Steve Bowling, you're off the chain. Steve, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and where you're from?
Hey there, everybody.
Really off the chain.
I'm not. I'm on the chain.
You are the chain.
I don't even know what that means,
I
but just
feel
fucking
like
go with
that's
it.
what
That's a
Max
secret
should start
message.
playing like
Dude,
right about now.
Steve is trying to tell us something about Game Explain.
That's right.
You are on Game
Steve
Explain.
Bowling. I'm from a tiny indie channel. You probably never heard of it. It's called Game Explain.
I've never fucking heard of this
Yeah.
shit. So
It has a small 1.1 million subscribers. And when I was on Kind of Funny, I was actually
Are we
previously
doing
from
the
Nintendo
humble
Life.
You're doing the
And
humble brag?
my history with Kind of Funny is that I got on it by talking shit.
Oh.
did you really?
Ooh.
Did you really, dude? Who
And
did,
I
dude?
called it.
Did you get shot, dude? Fucking Tim has said over and over, you talk shit, you get shot.
So here's
like-
the thing. Andre
He got
and
shot on
I,
camera.
prior
Yeah, he did.
to my joining Game Explain, Andre and I, Andre Seegers, the founder of Game Explain, were in a Discord together, and he had just told Greg Miller that he wanted to join the PAX West tournament last year, the one that I almost won, but I choked at like the last fucking second.
You know, don't
Let's
talk to me
not-
about choking at the Pax tournament, okay?
Listen, man, I'm
Man,
sorry.
I wanna
I'm
hear
sorry.
it.
John's face just now was everything.
Dude, I think
John
Steve was
lost
the one
so
that
bad
actually
he
beat
became
me
a
in that
meme.
panel.
I was. I
Yeah.
disqualified you, Blessing, but that's
Yeah.
how we became friends.
That's true. That's true. And like,
So
yeah,
all in all, everybody won.
Damn capybara throw.
But
fuck over.
That game is
So-
fucking
so I-
bullshit, by the way.
I know
which
you
one?
throw it
The
out
one
there.
you lost at, buddy? Because I beat you too.
Dude, Overcooked 2 is trash.
Overcooked 2
I
is
beat
fucking
you at-
garbage.
John, I beat you at Sport Matching. And Blessing, I beat you at Overcooked.
Yeah.
And then I
I
lost
hate-
at fucking Smash.
What do you want, a
which I
fucking
should've
cookie,
won.
Steve? Finish telling everybody who you are.
I'm sorry that you had to run away with the trophy. But so no, I ended up on Kind of Funny by talking shit. Andre and I were in a Discord, and I had just found out that Greg had added him to the tournament. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to get Greg's attention the only way anybody gets anybody's attention on Twitter, by talking shit.
Hell yeah.
And so I retweeted Andre and said, and I tagged Greg, and I was like, you got to let me in this to explain some fucking games to Andre. And Greg immediately like DMs Andre, and he's like, yo, who is this fucking clown? Like, should I let him in? Should you guys have a beef on the fucking tournament? And that was the plan. Like, he let me in so that I could beef with Andre, and then we could have a match somewhere in the tournament. But Andre lost in like the first round. so we never
Andre.
met.
Well-
After that, you know, Greg, and I'm sure you guys, like John and Blessing, I'm sure you guys got a similar email just saying like, hey, sorry, you know, this thing was like awesome, but it was 100-mile-per-hour shit show, and we didn't get to hang out, but come on the show whenever you want. So naturally, I replied to that email, and I'm like, yo, I got a preview event in San Francisco in a couple months.
Nice.
Let's go. Like, when I'm in town, let's do a show. And he was like, sure, let's fucking do it. So in a roundabout way, talking shit got me over to Kind of Funny. And
should
it
talk
was
more
definitely
shit.
a life-changing experience.
I'm gonna talk more shit to fucking everybody, see if I can get some opportunities.
John, I'm pretty
I
sure
got
you're
in
the
by
biggest
being
shit talker I
wholesome.
know.
Dude.
Be wholesome and positive.
I was professional.
Yeah.
I sent an email.
Belinda,
To be fair,
Belinda, after spending just an hour with me in Discord, is there anything wholesome about me whatsoever?
That
Exactly.
the hat,
son?
Everybody's wholesome in
Nah,
their
the
own
hat's seen some things,
way.
man.
This hat has seen some fucking shit.
That. Oh no.
And speaking of seeing some fucking shit, let's go to Josh and Justin, who are a package deal. You guys are a package deal because you're on the same.
Wow.
You're on the same podcast, so I treat you as like a single entity. Like,
Sounds about right.
I mean, Greg does as well, so
Like-
that's fine.
like some kind of eldritch cosmic horror. You are two beings that have joined. What I don't know where I'm going with that. Who are you?
This is getting gross.
We are. So
always
I
gross.
am the founder of Constantly Calibrating, which has been around for about 7.5 years. Justin is the creative director, and
You're so creative,
The
Justin.
Don Draper of
Yeah,
constantly
yeah.
calibrating.
a little bit. Look at the drink. Look at the glass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
That's
You
true.
you have to sift it. You have to, and then smell it. Get the bouquet. Tell me about the
Yes,
notes
yes.
later. Yeah.
But we've been doing this shit show for 7.5 years. We've actually been on hiatus since December because I had a little mini mental breakdown about things.
And I constantly have mental breakdowns about things.
Yeah, no.
so.
No, I have, yeah, no. So we kind of like took a break, reevaluated. We actually literally relaunched 2 days ago from when we were recording this. So yeah, we do.
Make sure
I'm
that
glad you're back.
Comic Cal Pod, 8
I'm glad
p.m.
you're
every
back.
Wednesday. Catch y'all.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
happens.
Well, hold on. I just want to point out here. Justin did a whoring out thing before I could. That has never happened in the history of constant calibrating. I'm
I
usually
whored.
all over that. I've been drinking.
Oh,
well,
no,
so
there
yeah,
is right now.
we all
Just right
have.
now.
It's fine. I'm
No, but
drunk, so you know.
Well, we've been doing this for a while now. Originally started as a Mass Effect 3 fan podcast, and then
I didn't realize it had fans.
I will point
No.
out at this time,
It's,
I didn't like Josh.
I'm sorry, Chloe. I'm sorry. I saw that.
well,
The
that's my favorite.
robots are the Geth are really attractive. I will say that.
Really pointy. No windows.
No windows. You're right. I can actually say that I have done a sexuality at Mass Effect panel at Phoenix Comic Con where the main question was, how did the Geth fuck? And it literally would completely froze the panel because we just kind of just did not have an answer that was appropriate for that room.
How don't they?
Good answer.
That was actually one of the members of my team at the time who never usually spoke that much. That was but the only thing he said during that whole fucking panel was, how don't they?
It sounds like Silent Bob. Like he never says anything, but when he drops it, everybody stops and fucking stares at him. Like, what did you just say?
It's the hint of wisdom, but the last thing I would say, we started constant calibrating as a fan thing, and then my former co-host and I applied for media for the second ever RTX, and not because we knew what media was, but because we didn't want to pay money for tickets and found that it's a free ticket.
I
And
respect
literally,
the grift, man.
12 hours later, they said, you want Bernie Burns and Matt Hullum on your podcast, and I'd never interviewed a human being in my life, and I went for that, and 7+ years later,
Ooh.
Here you
fucking-
are on this
Wow.
fucking
Well done.
disaster of a
Thank you.
shit show
Wow.
of a podcast.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Dude.
And that's my story things. And then Justin joined a few years later, and you know,
Oh yeah, joined a few years later. Honestly, I kind of had the vision that everybody has. Like, it'd be cool to get a free game. We did. So we started doing Let's Play stuff. So that's big friends of Achievement Hunter at the time. Also, I was going through a real bad breakup at the moment too. So this was a great distraction for me. Drought invited me back. Because we kind of reconnected that friendship. But yeah, I mean, jumping forward, we tried to do some Let's Plays, which, by the way, very highly edited Let's Plays. I was proud of us.
I can actually say we put too much effort in the old days.
We did. That's back when I had time where I worked a job where I could actually edit during my job, and now I'm at a job where I just am bored out at the end of the day, so it's hard to do anything. But RTX 2014 rolled up, and we're like, yeah, man, we should try, right?
Yeah.
So Josh applied, got us in. It's like, oh, cool, convention.
This is a real thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get some free shit. Hell yeah.
yeah. I didn't know how that worked either. And then we're like, Josh says, you want to interview people too? I'm like, sure, I'll give it a whirl. So we got that first interview I have, Greg Miller.
Greg Miller right
It's
at the
fine.
start of Kind of Funny.
Wow.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yep. Tail end of IGN, already planning for Kind of Funny. GOG way on the way. And at this time, like I knew of Greg Miller because I followed IGN stuff like that. But I didn't know Greg Miller, and I had the same probably view of him as everybody else has. He's just fucking loud.
So hold on. I just want to frame this. I want to frame this before we. I want to frame this. So
Yeah.
your first interview.
Yeah.
Like your first interview was Greg Miller.
Yes.
That's like being. That's like going to karate class your first day, and your sensei says your first opponent will be Satoshi, the Eater of Souls.
let me tell
Like
you,
they
man.
just throw you right into the fucking deep end.
I couldn't ask for a better sparring partner. To me,
Last year, Geeks of Color was there as media, and then it was just like all these interviews, and you're in this room, and we were all like profusely sweating, like, what the fuck? Like we get to interview all these people, and we're just like, but we have to be really cool because we're supposed to be media, and we're not supposed to be like fangirling. We're just like, and it was like nuts, like the interviews that you get to do as media and Rooster Teeth. It's
So Belinda, you were at RTX's in the media room last year.
last year, yeah.
So then I knew for a fact we had met previously because Justin and I were in there, like in passing at least.
Did.
Yeah.
you were
Probably
like, who are
did.
these guys?
Yeah.
I
Who are
went-
these guys? Who are these loudmouths in here?
I went to
Why
RTX
did-
this year. I didn't realize there was a media thing that you could do.
To be fair,
Somebody told me.
the morning after
I
PAX
wanna save some
West.
money.
To be fair, the morning after that Saturday night at PAX West, Josh sent me a DM and I was like, "Who are you? Who are you?
Oh.
Like, I don't even know you." Like, Josh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Josh. I love you.
He's not kidding. That's
I'm
the
not
thing.
kidding.
Listen.
I'm not kidding. That actually happened.
If we're
Dude,
talking about
I-
the morning after the PAX West messenger party, the morning after I still
That's the
don't
morning.
believe I'm
That's the morning
alive.
where the night before Josh and Justin and I ended up weeping together at the bar.
Yep.
It was
Dude,
it was
that
a really
night,
good time.
that night of the PAX tournament, I signed an autograph for like a Detroit Become Human copy because somebody thought I was Andre the Black Nerd. It was great.
Hell yeah.
Hey, not gonna lie, I got asked for an autograph because because they thought I was Adam Savage. So
I got asked for an autograph because I'd never been asked for an autograph.
Dude,
I actually
I
want to
saw
bring. I want to bring Nathan into this because Nathan has been quiet this whole fucking time. Nathan has been quiet this whole time, and I need the people listening to this to know about Nathan.
He's been quiet, but he's been pulling out the examples.
He's
Pulling
been
out
Nathan
big
has been
ass
I'm glad
biting.
you finished that
Oh, yeah.
sentence.
He's been biting his fucking time.
Pulling out the whole time.
Nathan, it's time to fucking unleash the beast and tell everybody who you are.
Oh no.
So what's up? I'm Nathan, aka Two-Headed Giant on Twitch. A half hour into recording this, here's my introduction. Twitch.tv/Two-Headed Giant. I stream a lot of Nintendo games, a lot of variety stuff. We talk about
You're a man of taste.
real
I see.
shit. We talk about feminism. We talk about what to do with your breakup. I got lights that change color. Turn the game room lights blue. So we can.
They're not changing.
Did nothing happen?
Nothing happened, Nathan.
Turn the game room lights
That was
blue.
almost like
Pushing the
cut
wrong
in
button.
half.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
No.
Fucking bling, dude. That's fucking baller.
God, lights!
Oh, snap. He has the
Yeah.
Smurf lights.
Why didn't you fucking open with that?
I know. I'm sorry. I have a Stream
Man.
Deck and I can
Make
change
it
the colors
clean.
too.
You should have. You
How
should
do
have.
you-
You should have.
I changed it
Make it
pink,
pink.
green. We can do
Why
anything
is
we want
Josh
here.
glowing? He's got like a super.
Why-
Whoa! Josh is on. Now Josh is on fire.
Why are you doing this?
I can't do any of this.
Why
I
can't
swear to God, I've only had 2 drinks.
Reverse the jacket. That's all you got right now.
I don't have anything.
Anyway, I stream on Twitch. This is my 4th ever podcast. My first 2 were Kind of Funny Games Daily. So,
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Quite the
So-
opener.
yeah, no, that was we're coming in hot to podcasting. So speaking of coming in hot, I'm on beer number 6. So
Oh shit,
Yeah.
dude.
we're having
Yeah, you
fun
are.
tonight.
I'm
So-
right there with you on beer number 3.
Yeah, I know. I got lights.
It depends on what you're
I-
drinking, though. Nathan. What are you drinking? Because if it's
lost
like
count.
Natty Light, it's a drink number 2. Let's be honest. Like,
I think it's beer. Yeah. I think
okay,
it's
there you
beer.
go. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. Nathan,
Yeah,
that's
no,
fucking awesome, dude.
That's my introduction. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Two-Headed Giant, variety streamer, Nintendo stuff, lights. I have a dog. I have multiple dog cams.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we have fun.
Do I follow you yet?
I know.
You better.
I don't think I
You
follow.
better fucking
think I
follow
follow
Nathan. Why the
everyone
fuck
here,
wouldn't you be
but-
following Nathan? As for me,
I'm fixing it. I'm
Can you
fixing
make it
it now.
half pink
Fuck
and
you.
half blue?
yeah, can you do that? That's actually a really
You
good
know, like
question.
in
yeah.
Sleeping Beauty. you
Oh,
know,
what
they're
about
like,
ochre?
Make it
Can you
pink,
make it
Make
ochre?
it blue.
Make it red so that you look
Turn the
like
gamer
you're the
lights
devil.
ochre.
Oh, never mind. Nathan and I follow each other. All right.
You can't do ochre. You
Ochre's
can't
not
do
a-
ochre. It's useless.
Ochre's not a recognized color.
Because-
Make it periwinkle.
Periwinkle. Yeah.
Turn the gamer lights
go.
periwinkle. I know that one works.
Yeah! Hell yeah! That's fucking outstanding. I can't believe it recognizes.
Periwinkle is
not
also the cat
actually-
in Blue's Clues. Just-
Actually, this is chat controlled. So if you go over to my Twitch right now, you can see me pressing a button and it'll say exclamation point lights cherry blossom and it'll turn to this.
If I wasn't fucking
Awesome.
if I wasn't running this shit, I would go to fucking Twitch right now and just fuck with that for the
Dude,
rest
Nathan
of
looks like Thanos right now.
You do actually,
Let me
yeah.
turn it purple. Let me turn it purple. There we
I hope
go.
they remember you.
Dude, right now Nathan is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So, as for me, my name is John, and I run a little podcast called Superform Gamescast. To shorten it, we just call it SDGC because that's a mouthful. And I started it. Sort of a sad origin story. I started it in 2015 after I lost my best friend of 20 years to suicide. We did everything together. Joel was my best friend for 20 years. We grew up together. We would go see Marvel movies at the same time, even though we lived in different states at this point, and we would call each other and talk about them afterward. And we talked about games, we talked about everything, and one day he was gone, and I was in a really bad place for a long time. And after a few months, I was like, you know what? I need to make some new friends and get back out there. And so what I did was I just approached some Twitter friends and I said, hey guys, I'm really fucking depressed. Can we just like do a podcast and talk about video games? Like, fuck it. It doesn't have to be structured. Let's just do a podcast and talk about video games. And I never thought it would go anywhere. And 3.5 years later, my Twitter friends who started the podcast with me have become some of the closest friends I've ever had. And I don't know what I would do without any of them. And it's taken us from podcasting every Saturday. We used to do every Saturday night for like 3 hours, just rambling about nonsense bullshit. And we started there on Google Hangouts, and now 4 years later, we're on Kind of Funny, and we're at PAX panels, and I'm writing for gamesindustry.biz and Polygon, and it's just been a kind of and we've had people like Mike Laidlaw and Naughty Dog, and it's been wild, and now I've been on Kind of Funny, and I never imagined that I would get to this place where I could not only be in this world that I had always wanted to be involved in, but also that I could be here tonight with all of you who are just all so fucking amazing and awesome. And I'm very, very thankful for it. Yeah, that I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of my story. And I don't think I'll ever really get over any of this. It's all still, it's like, as long as this is happening, it's all still going to be new and exciting and just completely fucking unbelievable for me. And yeah, so, and I get to work with takethis.org. I've dealt with mental illness my whole life that manifests as severe depression and anxiety. And now I am for PAX East and West, I am the Hope Booth coordinator for takethis.org. And we are trying to break the stigma of mental illness, not just in gaming, but in society in general, because it is perfectly okay to not be okay. And it is so cathartic. So I'm just happy to be here, y'all. I'm just happy to be here. It's fucking. I'm also like hammered right now.
I was gonna say it's not the perfect at all.
We love each other, but it's because we're hammered.
Exactly. So the only reason I love any of you is because I'm hammered. Otherwise, I'm just a disagreeable
John,
asshole. So
I've lost count of the bottles, and so
battles.
we're in a
He's
good
lost-
place. I've lost the battle.
we've lost the battle. Yeah, that's fine, dude.
I've
Keep
lost
drinking.
the battle with alcohol.
Keep drinking.
John, I need a
Have
clarification.
any of you guys? Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, I just need a clarification on the drunk level. Are we at PAX East Slepple level?
We're not at Slepple level. Like I'm not slurring my words on Twitter and fucking. Steve is like, I love how right now for anybody who's not
Steve's
like,
leaving.
Steve is like, I will show you hammered, and then he just like walks off. Like, you want to see hammered? I'll show you hammered. So what I wanted to do, what I kind of wanted to do now is just it took a while to get through all that. So what I'd like to do now is
I have like dinner reservations in 40 minutes.
I know it's fine. You'll be okay. You'll be all right.
I already told my wife. I told my wife I'm late already.
Yeah, just tell her you're like this takes the priority. I'm sorry, but But what I want to do is just kind of go around and talk about how we started listening to Kind of Funny. And the first time I ever actually heard Greg on a podcast was Podcast Beyond, and I was in a map container in Afghanistan, in Kabul, listening
So
on an
John
iPod.
wins the stories.
What's that?
I said John wins the stories already.
I know you already.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I was in the
game
middle of
over,
a
man.
war.
I was. Let me tell you something about war. I was in war, and it was just smoke everywhere, and still think about no, literally, I was in a map room counting maps, and I was like, this is so fucking boring. Like Jesus Christ. And I was listening to Greg on Podcast Beyond on IGN, and I was like, this motherfucker is funny. I like this dude, and that's kind of how I started listening to Greg. And this was back in. You know what? I'm not going to say because I'm going to out myself because I'm older than I would like to admit.
1911.
Oh, dude, I think we're roughly around the same age. I think we're the oldest.
How old are you, Steve?
I'm 35.
I'm older than you. Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
even
born in
don't come at me with 35.
Dude,
I'm
John
older
is
than
92.
you too.
I'm not that
really?
fucking old. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not in my
John is
40s yet.
old as Jesus, but he just works out, and so he looks great.
I know, right?
I do look great.
Sounds
I mean,
ripped.
you're not wrong about that. I do look great. I do look, but I'm
John.
not quite 40 yet.
John is
John.
competing with Morgan Freeman.
But to be fair, I've aged much better than Morgan Freeman.
Exactly. He
Right,
looks.
yeah.
He looks like Daryl from The Walking Dead, but really like.
Wait, hold on. Who looks like Daryl?
What are
Like,
you
do I look
talking
like Daryl
about,
from
man?
Walking Dead?
Yeah, like not exact. I'm talking about in terms of like physical shape, in terms of like the youth.
Wait, are you gonna be? in
Blessing,
Death
you've
Stranding?
studied this already?
Wait, hold on. Yeah,
Listen.
I'm interested in this. Like,
I am under the influence of alcohol. That's what I'm saying.
Just don't drink, kids.
Oh, drink more.
Mixed messaging.
who wants to fucking jump in there with a story about how they started listening to Kind of Funny?
I could do it.
Just fucking,
Go ahead.
just dive in.
Go.
Just dive in. There's no fucking, there's no
There's
rhyme
no
to this
rules.
reason.
All right, fuck it. I'll go.
Fuck yeah, do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I watched Greg Miller on IGN off and on, like over the time that he was there. But what really spurred me to get into Kind of Funny was that I had heard about the first Kind of Funny live, and that coincided with my very first E3. I went to pick up my badge and was just walking around the expo hall, like trying to look at shit, figure out what things were like. And I bump into Greg, like in a completely empty expo hall. E3 hadn't started yet. It didn't start for like 3 more fucking days. So he was just randomly there at the same time I was. And I bump into him, and you know, I'm nervous because this is like, I'm a fish out of water. I'm not used to E3 yet. I haven't been to half a dozen of these. And so I'm stammering and I'm nervous. I'm like, good job on your thing, your show. And he's like, oh, are you talking about Kind of Funny Live? And I was like, yeah, that. Great job.
That thing, man.
And he's like, oh, did you watch it? And I was
Fantastic.
like, and I don't even know what to say. And I'm sure Greg doesn't even remember this, but I'm like, no, I don't. And I'm like about to shit my fucking pants, right? And he's nice enough to sit there and chat with me, right? For like 10 fucking minutes, this dude devotes out of his day to like what he probably believes to be as some fan in the middle of a seizure. And so we get through a very incredibly awkward conversation. And he's like, well, you know, I got to go do some shit with Felicia Day, so I'm going to leave.
I've just got to go do
And I
some
was
shit
like,
with Felicia Day.
Yeah,
no big deal.
like,
It's
it's
fine.
fucking casual. And I remember as he leaves, I'm just sitting there thinking, I want to do that. Like, I want to do that shit. And so I just started watching him and being like, how can I get fucking better? Like, I got my way into E3, and that was the high bar for me at that point. And I was like, I want to be that dude. I want to do that shit. And so I started watching him and started just kind of honestly, in a way, modeling myself like after him. Like, I want to be able to have the comfort that he has being able to do such high level shit in this industry. So that was basically where I started going towards. He's been my inspiration since then.
Oh,
and
Steve,
I know.
I thought I
It's
inspired
touching.
you.
You inspire me for different reasons, John. Reasons that I can't talk about in an E for Everyone rated
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Actually.
Is
That's
this
what
E
I'm-
for
Hell
everyone?
yeah.
I was to say.
That's
Think
what, this,
same.
It's
that, that's
at
what I'm
least
talking
41
about.
and a-
John, you're my pointy robot.
Ooh.
Oh, shit!
Wow.
That's serious. That's
Whoa, this
serious
is
right there.
this podcast is going places.
It's getting
This is
spicy.
going. I like this. I like
like
where
it.
this is going. This is fine. It's fine. It's
I'm a
totally
big
fine.
fan of this.
I know, right? I know, right? Like so, like the crazy thing is like I met like when I first met Greg in person for the first time. It was at the Kind of Funny tournament, and like he had put it out on Twitter last year. He was like, "Yo, who's some fucking podcaster, or some individual, some creator some small guy that we can help elevate?" And a bunch of people from the industry like. Mike Futter and Amanda Farrow, who, full disclosure, are friends, but like a bunch of people, like, you know, like, were like, "Yo, you gotta get John on, you gotta get John on," and so like you gotta get him in the tournament. So I went to the tournament, and of course, like it was an epic fail. Like I completely, I did beat Jared Petty at that stupid capybara throwing game, which was pure fucking luck.
Justin.
That's Jared Petty though.
And I beat fucking Justin too. Yeah, that's right, Justin. That's right. You're still smarting from that wound I gave you to your fucking soul.
Even after
anyway.
we made a
You lost so
video,
bad
it's
Overcooked, you became a meme.
I did. I became a meme, and like I went to I lost, right? And it was embarrassing. And Greg actually said, "You've embarrassed your podcast," and I was like, "I know." and so I went
the better the Triple J bracket.
I went to the messenger party. I went to the messenger roof party, and I got there, and I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm getting in here." And Jen was there, and she's like, "Yellow Hat Man," and I was like, That's me. That's me. I am indeed Yellow Hat Man. That's who I am. And she was like,
remembers specific things like that, and it's crazy because my co-host Jordan, he went to a messenger appointment with Jen last year at E3, and I guess he was super early, and she remembered him this year, and she was like, "He was my most punctual appointment," and he's like, "That's he's like,
Be on time.
That's
Jen's gonna be like 85 years old. She's gonna be thinking back to that one guy. She was like, "I remember the most punctual
She'll
appointment
remember
I ever had."
specific things.
He was so on time
that's
that
the
he was
guy with-
early.
He was earlier than her. That's why she remembers.
And she
He
like,
was the patient guy to her.
she was like, "Yellow Hat Man," and she gave me a wristband because I was Yellow Hat Man. And so like all of a sudden I was up on the roof, and I've got like fucking all these people from the industry that I admire, and I was like, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing here. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. And then Sean from Evolve PR comes up to me. He goes, "You're the meme." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "You haven't, when was the last time you were on Twitter?" And I was like, "I don't know, like a few hours ago."
No.
And he was like, "You're that guy with that look of just sadness and loss." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And so he pulls out,
Justin and I witnessed this, by the way.
He pulls out his phone, and somebody had captured the moment where fucking Jeff Grubb had beat me at Overcooked 2, and like it captured my face where I was just like,
Wow.
and it was like this look. No, Chloe, it was like this look of. It wasn't even sadness. It was just like incomprehension. And all of a sudden, it was all over Twitter, and I got like 500 followers, and they were like, and like people were like screen capping my face, and then the face in the beanie, and talking like about the duality of man. And I was just like, what is happening? Yeah, and he was like, "You're a meme now," and like so people actually figured out who I was because I became a fucking meme.
That's
great.
And then Greg was like, "Hey man, if you ever want to come on Kind of Funny, let me know." And I was like, "Dope." And then like 2 weeks later, I was like, "Yo, Greg," like I sent because he was following me, and I sent him a DM. I was like, "There's no way he's gonna let me on," but I was like, "Yo, dude, were you serious about the Kind of Funny thing?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, sure, yeah, fine, yeah." Cool, yeah, and now that was that. I'm a meme.
That's what's so funny about doing KFGD is you think it's this lofty, serious thing, and then like I just corner Greg in a bar, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, I've been a broadcast student, and I have a film degree, and I know a lot about the games industry, and I watch every episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily, so you should let me on the show." And he's like, "Sure, dude.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Come on, let's go.
Just email me." And so I do the show with Greg, and then I send him like a thank you email, and I'm like, "Thanks so much for the opportunity. Like, it was an awesome experience." And then I'm like, "Hey, I'm in the Bay Area for a couple of days. Like, if any shit hits any fans, like, just let me know. And he responded within like 5 minutes and was like, show up on Monday, coward. And I was like,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, wow.
That actually sounds to me
Damn.
like when you said that, it sounds to me like you're offering to take care of a problem for him. Like, look, Greg, listen up, dude. I'm
Well,
a man of many talents.
It was a
okay?
problem.
Yeah.
It ended up being a problem because the show so I did the show with him on Friday, and on Monday it was supposed to be Fran and Tim. And if you're an avid Kind of Funny fan, you know that Tim recently got a very bad haircut.
Ooh.
And that Monday
I mean, I
was
wasn't
the
gonna- I
day
wasn't gonna
that
say
he
it.
showed up with the very bad haircut.
I know.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna say it.
So
You opened
So,
that can of worms. You gotta fucking eat it now.
I didn't say anything to him. I just thought, hey, that's bold. But because I don't judge. And he still looked fine because he's Tim Geddes. But I showed up on Monday and did another show. So I think I might be the only guest host ever to do 2 shows in a row, which is crazy.
Back to
Very
back, I think.
nice.
Yeah. I think you're right.
But
That's
no,
beautiful, man.
that was a crazy experience. And like, it's, if we're gonna get into like advice to Blessing and Chloe,
Drink.
like drink.
All right.
I'm already there.
Got it.
I've already done it.
So wait, is that
Show
the
up
mistake I
early.
made not drinking? Because I did not drink before.
No, neither did I.
Isn't the show at 10 a.m.? Like, what am I gonna drink? Mo?
Yes.
Oh, God.
But here's the thing is like I said,
It
those
is
were
at
my
10 a.m.
first 2 podcasts I've ever done.
Fair.
I was
No,
a
no.
streamer for a while, YouTuber, whatever. But those are the first 2 podcasts I ever did was Kind of Funny Games Daily. And it's like, I don't need to give both of you this advice, but like, just be loose. Just
I don't
do
need to
like,
do
it's totally fine. Do whatever. Hi, John's kid.
Yeah, your kid's adorable.
Yeah.
dude.
Fist bump me. Keep making fist bump me.
But I ended up saying the word
Yeah, give Belinda a fist bump.
You know?
Sorry.
Oh, you got a fist bump, Jade, bud. You got a fist bump.
There it is.
There you go. Oh
Yes.
man, yeah. That's what I'm
Hey.
talking
So
about.
I am sad.
don't be my advice is don't be